Good to see you late as always.
Tomorrow.
Yes.
I promise. Tomorrow
Yes.
will be a better day.
Yeah, yes, it is. It's very exciting. I can't wait.
I'm
New laptop.
expecting a delivery tomorrow that should fix the audio issues forever. So
Yep.
we shall see. We shall see.
So
We can only hope, but if anyone's in the chat yet, Charlie D, Samuel, can you hear me okay, Charlie? Sound check's working?
Check 1 2.
Check 1 2. We should have sound from both big mouths tonight if the setup is working for now.
I hear you loud and clear. That's good.
Yep, excellent. Yep. All right. Woohoo! All right. Well, we're online with audio tonight for a change.
Yeah.
A lot of people liked it when I was muted and only you could talk, but that's how like when I ring you, that's sort of how I feel when you just talk forever.
Oh, that must be that button I keep clicking down here. It says mute Brent.
Yes. That was the one you killed me with last night, you dickhead.
That was funny.
It was funny for you for 10 minutes while I'm screaming at the screen, why can't I fucking hear him? And then, oh, sorry, I had my mute on.
The worst part was I was wondering what was wrong. Like, I'm thinking, geez, what have I done? I'm looking around, checking everything, going, no, everything's fine. You can hear me? Like, what's going on? And I looked at the little red line that goes through the speaker on the bottom of the reset.
Yeah, idiots.
Oh.
Yeah. You say a couple of hellos in the chat while I'll do a quick share here, brother.
Yep. So we got Charlie, Samuel, Tanya, Jason, Charlie, and Aiden Dempsey. Aiden. Yeah, you can actually hear him. That's good. Well,
it's good and bad.
Maybe we'll put it up for debate and work out.
Take a vote.
Take a vote, and we'll see what it's like at the end.
Bring back the old microphone.
Yeah, soon. But for those that are here, like Brent's getting a new laptop and new camera and everything, so you'll be able to see him clearer. So we'll all be lucky, won't we? Won't be so fuzzy around the edges.
It'll be enhanced, Brent. It'll be amazing.
Yeah. Michelle, Elizabeth, Braden, Mitchell. Trying to just go through. Aiden, Mr. Muzz Williams, Paul Roberts, Leah Bannett, Scotty Reed, Ryan Shepherd, Pete Morgan, Steve, Mitch Ford, Mr. Colvin. Jeez, Philly Colvin's in the house. There we go.
Oh, Phil. He's a rare starter.
Yeah, it is. Good to see everyone dropping in to say hello. So it's only a small clutch tonight, which is just sitting there. Not a massive clutch. For those that might not have been around, so just to show a little bit of what it is we're actually working with here, this clutch. So I'm just going to share the screen here. So that's the dad. So a couple of years back, he signed. Yeah, he's a good-looking critter. So a couple of years back, obviously, he signed a clutch. Some of those are very not quite as striped as him, but show the same pinstriping that he's got, which I've held back, grew them up, and he managed to sire. I didn't put a ton of effort into my season this season, but yeah, he sired this little clutch. Unfortunately, there were a few slugs, and I got 2, 4, 6, 7 eggs sitting here. So it's only a polygenic trait. So it's only polygenics I'm working with. So it'll mean quite a few generations of line breeding. But yeah, hopefully, the goal is to have improve on how he looks. Take that striping and try to refine it, and I even like the little dots around the side. So, but it's a project, and these things can be done on anything, eh, Brent? Like it's not just a
polygenics can be in any sort of particular trait that you're looking for. So. It's a powerful thing. I remember at your old warehouse seeing that snake in that tub at the side there and not wanting to leave the building without it. And you were far from interested in letting me have it. So I was like, hurry up and breed it. That was like 5 years ago too, I reckon. It was a while back.
He's been good. He side clutches every year. But that very first clutch that I got was the best clutch I got.
Yep.
Luckily, like the polygenics were very strong in that clutch. The first one he produced was only 10 eggs, 10 viable eggs. So
this is one of those hatchies now that it's paired back to.
Yeah, I don't actually. I don't know. I don't actually have a photo on this computer. I was actually going to try and find. Oh, there might be one on my Rally by Design page actually, from some of the girls. Let's have a quick look through. But yeah, like it's just a polygenic trait. A bit like the fluoro jags that I breed, and the stuff like that. You're just trying to improve what's already there. You've seen these striped jungles and banded jungles. It's an easy thing to do for anyone if they just want to, look at a trait and think, I can make that better, and just continually work on it, breed the best ones for the best ones. Here we go. This is an older photo, but this will kind of give everybody an idea of what the girls were like. So that's one of the girls there.
From the original clutch?
Yeah, from the very first one.
Yep. Still got the good stripe through. Like it's obviously that male's outstanding, but that's still a bloody decent stripe for a male just to an albino. Yeah,
it was. And that was, being polygenic, you can get from one extreme to the other. You could get ones just like the dad that are pinstriped in the clutch, or you can get ones that are wild type in the clutch. It's a variation between the two. But I was very lucky to get a few like that one. Clutch.
And do you know the origin of that original male, the albino stripe?
No, unfortunately.
It can be anything.
Which would have been nice. There's another one. So you can see this one. You can see has that pinstripe towards the front half. You can see, the makings of the striping down the back. I don't know if you can see my cursor on the screen there.
Yeah.
But these were from that very first clutch. There's probably a better shot of one.
See, they look a little coastal blood to me, like where they get that orangey fleck through the albino parts.
I don't know. And like anyone that's bought. I think I've sold like 3. They don't look like that though. They're more the wild type looking ones. But I've told them, like, I know one half is pure albino Darwin because that's what he went with. But the origin of him, I've seen similar animals that have jungle blood in it, but then I've seen other stuff with carpets. They're not big, which leads me to probably think there's more potential of maybe jungle blood, but I highly doubt they are pure. I mean, I know most people probably grab on and go, "Oh, no idea, it's pure, mate." It's
but they're likely 75% Darwins now with what's coming out of them.
Well, there'll be 75% of some sort, yeah. But it's a little project we're working on. Hopefully try to get some more. This is like some of the pure albino Darwin stuff, so that you probably would have gone with at some point in time. So.
Very nice.
Right, we'll get onto it, or else I'll just sit here and look at all my photos for ages.
You can do that later, mate. In the meantime, how many eggs we got?
So we'll stop that. So 2, 4, 6, 7 eggs. So
sweet. None out yet. Just all slit.
Well, 3 are slit. So I'll just take them out. We'll get them up here. Yeah. So they actually started. First one poked his head out late last night. And I was like, oh, hope you hang around. So
late night show.
Yes, I flicked Brent a message saying, mate, we could do one tomorrow. But obviously there's not much point having an egg cutting show if they all come out. So
nothing to show.
Yeah, nothing to show. But luckily got up this morning, they're all still sitting there, so we waited till a bit later on the Savo to make sure they're all going to stay in the eggs. So I'll make that screen bigger. May as well do that. That'll help, won't it? Not that one. Here we go. It's not massive, so I'll just pull these apart.
And sometimes 7's not a bad size clutch. I wish I had more clutches this year that had 7.
I think it depends. Last night I wish I had a clutch that was 77.
Oh, of course. Yes.
That's my
Yes.
odds. But you know, oh well.
Yeah, you stink. I'm one bottle down, so
Yeah.
what's the bet tonight, mate? I'll go albinos.
I'll go wild type then.
We'll probably lay off the bet on this one. There's not really much you can go either way with here.
Nah, it's just I've got the wrong scissors.
Bit of fun one.
Topsy kit. Yeah.
Dan Murphy's free night.
Need those guys, not those ones. If they're cutting other things.
Oh, Fazy's in the house. Hello, Miss Rankin.
Hello.
Mrs. Rankin.
Right.
Kathy will be there lurking in the corner somewhere.
All right. I may as well. I'll pick one to start with, mate, and then you can pick one to see if you can get an albino. What do you reckon?
Better than last night. We couldn't get an albino to save your ass.
Well, I got two in the end. I actually got that clutch here beside me, and if we got a time, we can have a look. It's all filthy dirty inside.
Yeah.
Both eggs are still in there and everything. So
Be good to have a look at those two orangey, yellowy, not white ones. Nah, Gaz, I had change in settings, so now you can probably hear me, but I just can't hear you. So till tomorrow, we got upgrades coming. Oh, look, an albino.
Oh, that's a win for me. Oh, no, it's a win for you. That's right.
Albino to albino. So everything will be albino. It's just how much of this striping you can get through.
I'm thinking, geez, it's blurry. I'll put on the super goggles.
Don't fog up. Don't fog up.
They're the other ones I had on for the computer, so I can see. That's better. I can see now.
He's alive and well. He's blowing bubbles in there.
Yeah, he's alive and well in there somewhere. There's his little head. There he is. Where am I? There we go. Is that better?
Yes, nice.
Cannot see a single mark on him. Maybe it's just me.
I don't know if it's reflection. No, it's probably just reflection. I thought I could see a bit of a dorsal line there, but
yeah, there. Here you can actually. I don't know whether it picks it up on the camera, but you can actually see a dark line right through here.
Yep, that's what I thought was reflection. So yeah, that's looking good.
I don't know if you can pick it up here, maybe.
Oh yeah, that's good.
You just kind of see it right on the very edge there.
Yep.
See the dark bit
changing
right
tone.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Hopefully that holds up.
Yep. So obviously, once they come out of the egg and have a shed and everything, it's kind of funny. When they first come out, sometimes it's the opportune time to try to pick the patterns, because I find with the albino stuff, they'll kind of go through a period where it's very hard to pick anything.
Definitely. Yep. Especially sunglow stuff too.
Yeah. Which one do you want, mate? I'll cut one that you like.
Top right, a scungy, stinky looking one with a brown hole in it.
This one, it's got a brown spot. It's probably paradox.
It's Might Phase.
Might Phase.
Chrissy Fry says Darian Rodriguez is in from the USA. G'day, mate. All the way from the States.
There you go.
I hope he's a Buffalo Bills fan. I'll love him forever. Or he can get Aaron Judge a $500 million contract for me for the Yankees. Either or, I'll be happy with. No one else in Australia will have any clue about what I'm talking about.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm figuring it's probably is it baseball or.
Well, one was NFL, one was baseball. So Darian should know, hopefully. Still a lot of vein in that one.
Yep.
Bit bloody.
Well, that one. This egg are the only two that haven't pipped. The other four have pipped. So, no, that one's got a bit of a slit there. You just see.
Yep,
right
it's
there.
had a crack.
Yep, it's had a bit of a slit. So this one's so much. So you can actually see. We're going to get a bit of a dimple on here. I'm not going to put that there just in case.
In case it spews. It's that's not the sack tangled up on that, is it?
No, it looks all right. It's he's quite.
Clear.
You can see he's doing a bit of a wriggle there. He's not happy.
Yeah, I hate when you see that red veins wrapped around. Sometimes that's the sac and veins trying to strangle the thing inside the egg.
Yeah. I don't know if you can see where the tweezers are. See the two dark round circles? You can actually see those dots. So You know, like I said in that original picture, you see the stripe with the spotting on the side.
That's what you're looking for.
Yeah, that's kind of one of the traits I'm looking for anyway. So those dots, obviously a bit hard to tell because it's a bit of a very, very wet egg. So
very good. That'd be nice to see. Be good to come back, and it's a good idea, yours, Daz. If each cut we do, maybe you'll pull some of the ones that are out from the previous cuts to have a quick look at afterwards and see what they look like out of the egg.
Yeah, well, got a couple. Not quite a crazy season as last year, so probably got a little bit more time to do stuff like that.
Yep, only 500 hatcheries this year, mate. Cutting down. Jenny says Raven is doing well. Good to hear, Jenny. Jenny got a nice little Bredley cross Darwin from me last week.
Oh, awesome. Very nice.
And it shed and ate in the first week, which is always good. It's a good sign they're happy and settled when they do snake things first week.
Yep, do what they're supposed to do. He's got a flick in his tongue. He's like, oh, I'm free.
He's keen. He wants out.
Well, let me out. Oh, there we go. Same
that one looks lighter.
Yeah, you can see on the side, you got dark spots. Dots down here.
Got some marking. Very nice.
I'll see if I can...
It's blowing bubbles. It's alive and well.
A little bit. Oh, yeah, he's alive, all right.
Yep, there you go. You did exactly what you wanted. Show us your back, buddy.
Yeah. That's it. Quite happy. You can see it on towards the tail, definitely.
Yep.
I'm trying to get it so I can pick up on the tail. You can see like the dark dots down here.
Yep. It's picking it up nice.
Yep. And then if I flip it, I don't know if it quite picks it up on the other side. I'm trying to look at the screen to see.
Yeah, no, it's working.
Yeah. So that's one
looking
thing.
Good. Looking good. Oh, this pairing seems to be bringing the right sort of traits you're looking for.
Yeah. Definitely might play around. But once they come out of the egg, it'll be good to have like you said, have a bit of a look back and see how they look out of the egg. They always look terrible up until they had that first shed, you know, as we were talking about last night. Which one do you want me to cut, mate?
Bottom left.
Bubbles. This is bubbles.
4 to go. It's bubbling out the hole. Something's not right. It's a good sign, though. Those bubbles mean they're in there breathing and huffing and puffing away.
Yep. See how this egg was all a bit. Look at that on the bottom of this egg.
Manky, yeah. Was there something under that, or was that on the bottom?
On the bottom.
Yep.
Yeah, well, like I said, there was a couple of eggs in it that were crap, but yeah, it just goes to show like how it hasn't affected this one at all. It's quite dark actually compared to the other one.
Yeah, it's got that deeper orange look, that one. If you put it under the camera, we could see too.
Sorry. Yeah.
Thanks.
Normally I'm looking that way to make sure I've got it there. Then I get carried away looking at the snake. It's like, oh.
Thanks for letting us join in, mate. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Glad you turned up. See, this one's looking to have a little bit more normal pattern. It does have some trait, but
darker.
Yeah.
Certainly some, looks like some of the side markings there.
Yeah, you just see some, there's a bit of lining in that. But, yeah, we'll let him go.
Nice. Taylor Stow, g'day Taylor. She's had to be here for the stripes. Yes, you're a big fan of the stripe, Taylor.
Yeah, let me just get that gunk off my hands.
Taylor had the best stripe I've ever seen and wouldn't sell it to me either. All you people who won't give me your perfect animals.
Well, what do you do?
You just wait longer. 3 to go.
Yep.
Scott Smart says, do you need to cut the eggs open?
No. It's normally something we say to people when I'll pick one. If this was at home and I wasn't actually doing it for everybody to see, and I'm like, oh, this snake's pipped, I would pretty much Sorry, put under the camera. I'll pretty much
Thank you.
do that. Just a small cut, just enough to pull that up, to give that just a little touch. Make sure he's kicking in there, which he obviously is, a tongue flick and everything. And then I would just tuck that flap in like that and put it down, and you wouldn't touch it again.
Leave it be.
Yep. So, I mean, what we're doing, doesn't hurt the snakes, but, it's not what I would recommend to do. This is what I would do. Just cut that little flap, just enough to have a look. Give it a gentle little prod to make sure the snake's alive, it's moving, its head's there. And then just put them back and let them come out in their own course. But I'm just cutting this a bit bigger to pull it back. So we can have
gives them every opportunity to get out. I mean, if they've slit the egg, they've clearly got an egg tooth, so they can get out themselves, and they will do within a day of that little first slit. They'll be poking their head out, and the day after that, they'll be fully out. So it just gives them a little bit more opportunity when there's a bigger exit hole. So, but they generally don't need our help. No, they're quite capable. We just like to have a look and then put them back to sleep.
Yep, and it's just if you see one. My rule of thumb has always been when the first one pips, I pip the rest. Normally it would just be, like I said, just a little U-shape, V-shape, just a little cut around the edge of the egg, just enough to pull it back, give it a tap, fold that flat back over, and then just put the egg back in a container and walk away, come back, check it tomorrow. So you just leave them. They feel safe, secure. The lid's pulled back over them, still nice and dark, and they'll just come out when they're ready. So, look how fat this guy is.
That's chunky, isn't it? That's absorbed well. That egg's fairly dry.
Yeah, it's very dry. Yep. See a little bit of a mark stripe. It's very hard to pick on this one. I think it's just because he's so stretched.
I think
it's gravity. I think it's ovulated.
That's chunky. That one will be the one of the first out. It's absorbed everything it's got, and he'll be looking for something else shortly.
Yep. So that's it. So I try to tuck that little flat back into the egg and just leave them.
Yep, they can pop out when they're ready.
All right. Do you pick that one or do I pick that one?
You pick, mate. Go where you like.
I'll take this one. I'll leave the big fat chunky one to you. Another one. What do you want?
Mr. Sunky, how are you, Christopher?
Hey, Chris.
Mr. Sunky just popped out a human hatchie too. Done well, the man.
Oh, congratulations, mate.
Very good. They're all looking healthy and ready, aren't they? None of them look underdone.
Nope.
These are closer to 60 days.
Yeah, they're on the other side of the scale. Yep.
Yeah.
Other side of 55, so to speak. Yeah. Oh, I was going to say, geez, he's got a dark stripe there, but that's just a vein on the top of his head. You can see that little dark, like.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, he's a tarbal, mate. Tarbal in disguise.
Tarbal. Yeah. Very nice.
Looking good. Tongue flick's going.
Yep. Cool. No complaint. Unlike last night, I had a lot of complaining.
Oh, one to go, mate. One to go.
Yeah, you can pick this one.
Oh, yeah. Scungy looking egg too. But, mate.
Slit around this end, look.
Is that its own slit, that whole end of that egg?
Yeah, yep. You got cuts there.
Good effort.
So you got that in there.
He's a slasher.
Yeah. It's a slasher flick.
And we'd find they'll slash anywhere on the egg, It's not always up the top. They'll just go straight out the sidewall if they need to. And if there happens to be an egg packed beside them, they'll go straight through that sidewall too.
Yep. Quite good.
Nothing like sharing egg space.
That's it. Like, move, I'm coming. It's a very brittle egg, this one. There we go. Wow.
Nice thick skin one.
Oh, yeah, he's what?
Look at that. Clean as a whistle on the inside.
He's well and truly ready to come out. That is
G'day, mate. Nice. Deep orange too.
Yeah.
A nice variation in colour through them all.
Yeah, definitely. We can see some stripe on this guy. It's very hard to try to pick up. You can see a nice down around through the back here, but it's hard to get the right.
Yep, it's good there. Yep, you can see a bit of the side marking there as well.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
It's all that dry ass.
Yeah, he's cleaned that egg right out, mate. He's ready. I reckon most of these will be out tomorrow. They all look fully formed, ready for war.
Yep. There's nothing in here. This guy's like detached and everything. No, a lot. Oh, it's not egg. The shell is hard as.
Yeah, it looks like one of those big, thick, calcium-full eggs.
Yeah. And that's another reason for pipping. You'll get one that has a really thick-skinned egg like that one, or thick-shelled egg, thick-walled egg. And sometimes I break that tooth off trying to get out. And
yep, get even a little slit in and done.
Yeah, end up with a dead snake, browns in the egg, unfortunately. So,
got to say that's probably a lower possibility, but it does happen. Like, if you cut them all, you eliminate that option. But like you said, there's a right way and a wrong way. You don't really want to butcher the egg. It's still their house for another couple of days.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So try to be gentle.
Try to be nice with them big scissors of yours.
Yeah. They're actually massive scissors.
They're garden shears, just your hands are so big.
Oh, No, I'm not going to say it.
Don't make me block you from the chat.
Yes, that's right. Block me from the chat. Let me just put this over here.
Throw them out and we'll grab last night's couple out, eh?
Yeah, well,
what you got, the whole clutch there? Or?
Yeah, last night after we did the show, a few came out of the eggs, so I just took those crappy eggs out. And then, so you'll see what it gets a bit messy in here. So there's still stuff and eggs and snakes and gunk and everything.
Quick bit of house cleaning and ready to go.
Yep.
Oh, mystery box.
Yeah, let me just get rid of the gunky eggs or the empty eggs.
A few more out.
Yeah.
Geez, one of those ghosts is a cracker down that bottom left.
Yeah, I was quite happy. Some of them are actually, when now that they've come out, they're actually quite nice.
I think that one's a female and it wants to come and live at KHP.
I just sensed it's a boy. Oh, sorry about that.
Just pop it now. Come on, show me. All out then, are they? Or one to go?
Yeah, that one hasn't come out yet, and that one's coming. Just started. That was that really wet egg.
Needs another day maybe.
Yeah, so we'll just leave that. I'll just bunch these up.
No rush. What do you reckon normal for from that slit or a cut day, 2 days? Normal? Till they're out?
Till they're out. Yeah, well, it probably depends. It's subject to how ready the snake is, because some, as you can see, they've launched out, and others will cup in. But yeah, that one bit wet, probably be out by tomorrow.
Yep. I sort of, like you say, you judge how the egg looks inside now. I always judge them by the outside until they're ready to cut. Once you cut them, you got to see what's in there and how they look. But if they're not out by 3 days, I'm starting to get worried and start digging around in there and see what's going on, see if they're tangled up or, giant umbilical sac they can't get past or something.
Yeah, I always check them. Like I'll check them every day. Just give them a prod, make sure they're doing all right. Make sure they're not twisted or tangled up or whatever. So you can see how terrible they look after that they've come out of the egg. And you see that thick, skin on them, all the wrinkles and everything.
Definitely.
Like this guy down here. Until they've cleaned that skin off.
Yep. Jad says there's one underneath, which is normal. They always find a little finger hole to sneak under and chill out underneath.
Where's the tub? So up the end there, you can see those two little holes that you stick your
Yep.
fingers in to pull them out. They find that, and in they go. So
Chilling out under there.
Yeah, what I'll do is I've got a big tub here where they can't get out of, and I'll just.
They're still pretty fine at 90 to 100% humidity at this stage. They can almost. I mean, you don't want them sitting in water wet, but they can be very high humidity until that first shed.
That's a wild type one of the wild type ones. So you see now when you start actually pulling them out, you can see the difference in like a caramel, like this guy here.
Yeah.
So then when you
see the contrast in them,
you can now start to see the difference when they're not in the egg. The wild type versus the caramel.
Yep.
So,
and even the wild types from the Xanthic and Ghost, you can sort of see the more browny tinge on the lighter areas.
Yeah. So I'll just move some of the stuff.
Peter Knox, g'day, mate.
Mr. Knox. How are you, buddy? It's like a tangled mass. I'm trying to get to the white one down here. That's a couple of nice ghosts.
That's my one. Get it.
I've lost it.
Gotta untangle the group. Oh, Toppy.
Yeah, try and do it gently because if you sometimes the tails wrap around the grate, so you got to be very careful so you don't rip it. And not only that, you get a little bit, grab a handful to take them out. Suddenly they all go, and off they go, and there's suddenly snakes down everywhere. It's a little bit relaxed.
Occasionally you'll have one with a sack hanging off it too, and you'll go yank it on things and everything's tangled up.
Yep. I mean, they're big hatchies, and talking about food size last night, like, these guys are easily going to smash down a pinky rat without any problem whatsoever.
Yep. And probably only for a few feeds and then move it up.
Oh, it won't take long. If they feed straight away, they'll move up pretty quick. So, yeah, quite nice.
The coastal blood, good size snake off the bat.
Yeah, she's a big girl too. So I think that makes a difference. Nice. Once you kind of remove all the less visual stuff, this one he's decided to come out his egg and have a look around. How are you, mate?
He's decided it might be time.
Yeah. Got a few ghosts at home too. This one is quite nice. That's a nice ghost, that one. Just move these.
So great odds on the ghost last night.
Yeah, I wish I had the same odds in Moon Guys.
Yes, wouldn't that be nice? It's got to happen. It's got to happen.
See what I was saying? I don't know if you've seen that corner down there.
Yeah.
See how this guy's got his tail looped in around? And it's in through there and up the other side. So it's his tail in through here. So you just got to be careful because they kind of wrap on everything, including their buddies. I was going to say bros and something else that rhymes with it, but brothers and sisters.
Bros and sisters.
Yeah. So
that's that one that looked really light, obviously, which is now looking more like a albino or sunglow, but definitely looked potentially whitey snowy last night, but now it's out.
Yeah, I kind of figured it in the egg, but you
could see it better.
Yeah, you kind of hold hopes that maybe it is, but I'm like, it wasn't white, and I'm like, nah, I know what you want it to be, Dad, but the reality of it is, no.
Yep. Bros and not snows. Very correct, Samuel.
Take that out. All right. So there's a few hiding underneath. I might just, for temporary sake, got an awful mess of stuff. So just bear with me. Well, they're deciding to be nice. So now they've done this, the tray will come out. Tub will get cleaned. Yep. Paper towel will go in. A water bowl will go in.
Give it a light spray and back to bed.
And back to bed. Yep. So see, this is what they do. Go on, get in there. In you go.
Shift your butt.
Before all these ones start to get all fired up. Come on. In there. You're almost there. There we go. Pull that filth out.
And a wildie underneath.
No, it's a ghost.
The ghost?
Yep. So here we go. So the fun's starting.
The snake's exploding out of the other tub everywhere.
Yeah, they're all starting. Well, they're just sitting in the lid here at the moment, which is fine. But they're all just going, freedom. So I just want to get... I know I can't quite see on paper. You can probably see me there. I don't have anywhere to put all this gunk in here. Suck that up. Sorry, came a little bit underprepared. Actually, yeah. Oops, got a suicider off onto the floor.
Free Willy.
Yep, come in here. See the joys of live stuff. What you see is what you get.
You needed the second tub.
Yeah, I've got one down there, but I just want to get the rest of this, the worst of this out, so I can put them in there some cleaner. That's all. We'll give it a proper clean. Now we can actually put them in and see. So, ghost.
Oh, Matty Travs, it's nice of you to join us late, mate. Yes, we are the two prettiest women on Facebook.
Well, at least someone recognises it.
Yeah. Share the love. Bryce, any bottles of Bailey's on the line? Yes, I lost one last night because Darren can't hit a white snake to save his ass. So I am one bottle down after one clutch. Had there been a white one in here, Daz would have been happier, and I would have been happier. So it's all Daz's fault so far.
Yeah, we'd have both been happy chappies. So as you can see, once you kind of wake them up, off they go.
Yeah, so we talked to you tonight, Matty Travs, because you're on it when it's live. When you watch it back at 2 a.m. and then make comments, we are not there, my friend.
Yes, that's exactly right.
So you can chat away to yourself, that's fine.
Have your own one-sided conversation.
I saw his comments this morning. I was like, hello, mate. How you going?
Oh, really? I'm just letting them settle down. I'll just clean here for a sec.
Lachlan, g'day, mate.
You can have a better look at the priorities.
I don't think so, Mr. Travs, because your comments were coming in much later on my end.
Ah. And what were the comments? Well, they're non-repeatable.
You can always tell by the time when it says, the video's ended, and then comments come 6 minutes after. Maybe because you are so far up in the slow internet of the mountains there that it's just that time delay to out there to the sticks.
He thought it was live. So this one here would be my pick of the ghosts, I reckon.
My one?
Your one didn't hatch. It was there, but they look quite dark on the thing. Actually, quite light.
Turn that other light off. You got both lights on?
Better or worse?
Yeah, run with that, mate. That's probably more natural light for.
Yeah, it's probably picking up the reflection, so picking them up and very hard.
Fine-looking bunch.
Yeah, it's very hard to get the colour right. But
how many ghosts are in here? Is there 4?
We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yep. Beating the odds, mate.
At least there's 2 white ones.
killing the odds.
Depends on what odds you want to talk about.
Yeah, you're good on the grey stuff. It's not so good on the white stuff.
Yeah.
So you think that's one albino, one sunglow?
Yeah, I'm thinking. I'll wait till they shed and have a bit more colour. Very similar, but I think the one on the...
bit more pattern on the one on the left.
Yes. Yep. I don't complain. I like them anyway.
Yeah. See how they go after a shed. What they look like. Oh, we're gonna see. Oh boy, it's got hemipins.
You cannot question the sex of that. When people say, "How do you know?" When I've written male on it, I'm going, "See those? That's a boy." There's zero question as to the sex of that snake.
Yes, it's. I've been ticking tubs like that this year for ones I pop. Oh, that's my girl. The ones that I've 100% know, cannot be anything else. I want a girl too. I've been putting the tick of approval straight on them this year. I normally probe them later, but the ones like that it's 100%, there's no question about it. I just put the tick on them now for definitely boy.
Yeah, yep. No, you see hemipins, there's zero question, and it is like you see how easy they are to pop when they're out of the egg like this.
Yep.
It's really easy. As they get older, that gets harder and harder. And I really don't. I know you can pop older snakes, but I do not like it. I don't think it's good for the animals. I prefer just probing when they're older and got a bit of size on them. I don't like forcing things. Don't need to be forced.
When they're relaxed, a probe done right can be very quick and obviously painless, but very stress-free for the snake mainly.
Yeah, a nice lubed up probe.
Yep, Samuel. The ghosts in this are caramel exanthics. Caramel exanthic in carpets is called ghosts. Spot on.
Yep. And the caramel albino versions of the sunglow. So.
Yep.
But anyway, well, there we go. I'll put the lid on these guys because they're just going to constantly go for freedom. Let them settle for a sec. Be nice to be able to switch that camera back around, change these over to ones that I can see the computer with. This is like when you go out, you've got to take 18,000 pairs of glasses so you can see things.
One for the screen, one for the hemipins.
That's exactly right. Yeah, how you go from as you get older from 20/20 vision to 20 shitty vision.
Matty Travs, how you legends been? Us legends been good. It's been a hectic year, very wild. You've been quiet up there, Mr. Travs. How'd the apprentice go with his second year of breeding, mate? He must have popped out a few this year with the little fella.
Good, I hope.
He might outdo Daz this year.
Good chance on that.
Daz having a small season. Might be the first time under 500 for a while.
Yeah, no.
You laugh, but you know it's true.
Like I said last night, my wife's quite upset that there's, in a sideway that there's not 3 incubators full of eggs.
Yes. Nothing to stare at through the glass every morning.
Yeah. So I like them when they'll hatch out. So tell me that now. But yeah, I think excuse me, I think next year it might change again.
Of course. It's a new year. None, Mr. Travs. That's not a good number, mate. Hopefully all okay out there.
None? So does that you didn't breed anything at all, Matthew, or
just failed? I wish I failed a few more this year. Remind me to ask you about tubs too, Daz. I went shopping today for some stuff, for some tubs. We need to talk.
Well, I got some here you can use.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. I can't wait for that other clutch that's sitting there. I was really hoping that they'd start pipping soon. The granite pepper.
Which one's that?
The granite pepper clutch.
Oh yes. That's got to be close. That was only a few days behind this one, wasn't it?
Yes. Yep. It's due very soon. So, hopefully there won't be anything exciting to see in there, so to speak.
Yep.
Ideally, we'll just want to see a clutch of wild types. So, as much as that probably sounds quite boring, I'll find it quite exciting.
I don't think we'll be as excited ever to see wild types in that clutch every egg we cut. So, but it should be simple. If they're compatible genes, every egg will have a visual in it. So it won't take long. One egg and we'll know what's going on.
Yeah, pretty much. Yep. Both recessive traits, so there's no question about that.
Yep.
So yeah, so it will be exciting. Hopefully that'll be within a week anyway, I reckon.
Yeah, absolutely.
So keep your eye out for that one. But these guys are pretty good. Is that there? I don't know what's in the other tub. How many's in there? How many did we have? 20, wasn't it? 20 eggs from the Moonglow clutch?
I think it was 20, yeah. 20 that were good. A couple more, but 20 went off. 20 good ones, few off. Stephanie Smith saying she's up in Brisbane. I hear we are having a reptile show next year. Certainly are. Shatiko has organised one up there. Do you guys travel for shows? Probably not for this first one. It may become an option down the track. I'd certainly like to travel more for shows. It's a huge effort with live animals and risky. Lots of paperwork, export permits, and all sorts of things. But it can be done. There used to be a few mobs that used to travel interstate for shows, so definitely on the cards. If anything, I think I'll try and go up there for a look and see a few people and say g'day to some friends. Yep. I'm not so sure about taking anything to sell, certainly in the early stages anyway.
Yeah, I agree. Like I've done quite a few shows in the state. I've never sold in the state. I know quite a few people that have, particularly down in the Victorian show down there. I think it's awesome. Like it's been such and credit to Troy Kuligowski and all those people that are involved in the Scales and Tails shows and the Reptile magazine shows in the early days and stuff like that for pushing and getting those shows going. The downside, which was always going to be the killer, was the inability to sell reptiles at the shows. But now, if I'm correct, they'll actually be able to sell reptiles at this show, which is going to make a huge impact for the market up there in Queensland. And, potentially open the doors for obviously having more than one, providing there's enough people up there that are willing, to support it. It takes a little bit of work, but, look at all the shows down here we have. At one point we were 5 shows a year.
The good days. That was awesome.
Yeah. So I think now that obviously COVID's over and everything, hopefully the ball will start to see a few more shows again. But I think it's unreal. I'd certainly like to make the effort to get up there. Go there on, I don't know if it's on a Sunday, maybe go up on the Saturday, stay the Sunday, come up
and make a weekend of it.
Yeah, same thing. Go up there and catch up with the friends and that are up that way. I think it'd be awesome to see the show, and it's cool just to catch up with people. And who knows what'll be at the show, what you'll see. I'm sure there's plenty there. There's plenty of big names and big breeders. There's some crazy animals up there. So,
yep, definitely. It's good that Expo's not all just for selling. It's a great opportunity. People come who know nothing about snakes, who their kids drag parents there and friends from school and everybody. It brings more people to the hobby, and it's one place you can go and see, 30 different breeders and have a look at all different types of animals, because there's not a lot of places you can go to see that much variety, So people looking to get into snakes, you can go there and have a ton of variety right in front of you and see it firsthand, So it's really good for the hobby.
Yep. And anybody that's up that way that breeds, get in contact with the organizer. Who was organising? Was it Elizabeth Shakito? Was it? Was it you, Elizabeth?
Yeah, Elizabeth. Yep.
Yep. Get in contact with her, and try to support the show if you can, even if it's just volunteering and helping. Because having seen the effort that goes into the shows and that down here,
it's a lot of work. Yep.
Like I've been involved with the show since the first one back in. The first one we could sell it back in 2007, and it's an army of people to make these things happen, because obviously the venue cost is there, and that's normally restricted hours, so they normally have only so long to set up before the doors open for people to walk in. They've got to have tables set up for you to set your animals up. So, you know, even if you don't have something to sell, if you can help out in some way to volunteer, get in and help support your show, because give it time, it will turn into a massive show. And, you know, Queensland's big enough. You know, you've got Brisbane, you could have more up towards Townsville. Like, you know, you've got quite a few options of having shows up in the Gold Coast, whatever. Like,
yep, can go all over the state basically. So, have you got jump on to Elizabeth Chiquito Randall and screen share that event she's got, and we can see the dates on it. Anyone interested up that way looking to go, or like me, if you just want an excuse to go away for a weekend and go and see some snake people, or get up to Queensland and have a look around.
Yeah, like I said,
give us the dates.
I've had the privilege of being able to go up to a couple of the shows up there in the past. With, you know, a few people in the hobby, and they're unreal. Even just the social aspect of it, you know, just to get in and catch up. And I'm sure those that have come down to our shows from interstate will vouch the same thing. You know, like Scott Typer have been down in the past. Like plenty of the Wayne and Deb Larks have both been down. Troy Kay's been down. Like there's been plenty of keepers from up that way that have come down to the shows, and it's the social side of it's unreal.
Yeah, it's a great day. Yeah. Elizabeth's saying she's already had to change the venue because of how many vendors are coming. So it's already awesome. Blown up. Exoterra is sponsoring as well. I know Chimera will be at the show. So looks like it's getting fantastic support already and already breaking the walls. She's still locking in a new venue, but looking at either Easter weekend, 8th and 9th of April, or 29th and 30th of April. So we'll know more by next week. So looks like it's all happening and going well. I'm not surprised that so many people in Queensland have been dying for Expo action, so I'm sure it'll be well supported.
Yeah, I'm just trying
Chrissy Fry will be there. There'll be plenty there, I'm sure. And like you say, hopefully there'll be a good show up and good support. People getting there, and if people make a really good effort and support it, and it's really well received, that'll just grow. That thing will just snowball every year. Then it'll be a great event for an annual thing. And like Daz said, I'm just going to plug in because I'm about to go flat. It can spread too. You know, it can, like Queensland's a bloody big state, so you can have that show in 3 places in Queensland. You know, spread out over a couple of months of the year.
You'd be surprised. Like obviously we have, you know, a couple in Sydney. We used to have one up the Central Coast at Gosford. We've had one up at Port Macquarie. We've also had the South Coast Society down Wollongong Way. There also used to be the Mackerts one as well. And most of them are only, you know, depending on where you live, an hour to 2 hours away. So it's not a massive distance between the shows. Like you can have this show and the next one's an hour and a half away from that same venue. So it's you know, you can have it over a couple of areas, given a few weeks in between. It's good. Elizabeth, on your page, what's it called? I just want to search the page.
She might have pulled it down if they're redoing venues and events and things. So
okay, fair enough.
Might have had to. There was something up on there, but might need some updating now. But keep an eye out for Elizabeth's post anyway. I'm sure when there you go, Chiquito's Critters.
Okay.
That's SHIKITOS, Darren. Do not misspell that when you type it.
It's not IKO.
She'll KO you, mate. Don't you worry about that. I've seen the videos. She will smash you. There we go. Now we're cracking.
There we go. So,
woohoo, all right.
No, it gets me excited, reptile shows. So I think that'll have to be a trip for you and I, Mr. Smith, I think. Yeah,
absolutely, mate. Even that Paul Macquarie show used to be great. I'd go away with Mum. Mum had friends up there, and we'd go up there and stay with them for the weekend. It was awesome, you know. Awesome to stay with people, catch up with people, and do a show and come back late, Sydney totally wrecked on a Sunday night, but that's why Mum comes. So if Mum drives and I sleep, it's awesome.
Yep. Yeah, well, same thing. We used to make a bit of a 4 or 5 day trip out of it, as you know. Used to go there with Dave Raptor.
Yep.
Go there, stayed just out of Port Macquarie, just out Lake Cat-Eye. Anyway, stay in the caravan part there. It was great. Have a few beers each night, kick back, relax, do the show. Show pays for the weekend. It was good.
Yeah, it's good. So, even that Wollongong one we stayed down there last time was it's just an excuse to get away for a night and have dinner and catch up. So
yeah. So anybody that's thinking of helping, got animals to sell, hit up Elizabeth. Go and help if you can. You know?
Yep, I'm sure they'll definitely need a lot of volunteers, like you say. You know, ticketing and just general hands around the place, getting people in and out and getting things set up and packed up as well. Big clean up after the show always. You see people there for hours after. You know, it takes us a bit of time packing up the stands, but they can't do anything till we're off. You know, we've got to get out of there so then they can pack up tables and chairs and dividers and pull up, you know, extension cords and clean the place right up. So there's lots of helpers make all that happen, and it's a good day for everyone when everything runs smooth.
Well, 100%. You know, I mean, you just have to look at the shows down here. You know, literally got an army of people. Everybody's assigned a job. They all know what they're doing. You know, and me being the one that's always last. There's only an army of people standing around my table waiting for me to get all my stuff off it, so they can pack it away. So,
well, always, Darren. I'm normally packed in the car park waiting to go home, come back in to see Darren who's still packing snakes in tubs.
Yeah.
We don't all bring 250 snakes to expos like you, though.
I need to exaggerate. It's 249.
You sold one before the show. We know it.
Yeah. But anyway, that's all. So it'd be good. When's that? So 29th and 30th of April. I assume it's the same date, Elizabeth, even if you had to change venue. So
she said she'll know more next week. So it's looking like that, or possibly Easter 8th and 9th. So we'll lock it in shortly. Still plenty of time away, but it's obviously it's been very well received. So they're got people coming from all over the place. So looking for a bigger place to fit them all in at this stage.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That's awesome. I'm really glad to see it. I know they were quite successful, the shows they had there in the past. So to be able to sell the critters there. And then, you know, the next step from that is once, you know, if it all goes well and they're back for another year, then that's when you can start looking at interstate vendors coming in as well, coming up.
Yep.
You know, obviously getting national parks to talk to each other and have an agreement. I know, like I said, they've done that in Victoria and stuff, and that stuff happens. So, fair trip. But anyway, there we go.
Excellent.
Awesome. Another thing to look forward to. There we go.
Katie's saying what his dad's cutting tonight. Daz is cutting some striped albinos and having a quick look back at last night's Not Snow Moon clutch. The no white clutch from Darren.
This was the Ghost Sun Glow clutch.
They were head for Ghost and head for Sunglow, but they didn't make anything white again.
Yeah,
so
again.
Katie's mate Jason would love that clutch you just cut. That'll be a good one to go back. Jason will love stripes, so he'll be keen to see a few of those out and about. We'll probably come back and have a look at these albinos when they're out, you know, in the next few shows to see how well that patterning came through. Yeah,
once they've come out and hopefully maybe at a shed or something or other, we'll see. Like if they're all out and just get that picture. If they're all out by the time the next clutch comes, we'll do the same thing. Have a bit of a look see. There we go. Oh, scared myself.
What are you all blurry for? It's just maybe my internet.
I don't know.
You look better though, I've got to say.
I look terrible.
Just looks like a tattoo on an arm.
It's because I'm blue. That'll teach me for putting fish on my arm, won't it?
That's right. Human aquarium.
That's right. big deep sea aquarium, though. Comes with like yellowfin and stuff.
Not saying anything. Well, that might do us, I think, mate. That's an hour. We'll try and rip through a few of these pretty quick because we've got a few to get through this year. So,
well, you have
action packed. Yeah,
it's almost like a role reverse, isn't it? Last year it was me messaging Brent like every 3 days, going, "There's another one. There's another one."
Got a clutch. Got a clutch.
Right. Actually, I spoke to Faye today, and she was quite upset. She goes, "Are you going to do any Antaresia?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, "We did some last year." "Did you?" I said, "Don't you watch all our shows, Faye?" I was not happy.
There's sometimes too many. So they're all there, and they'll all go to YouTube from both our pages. So on mine and Darren's YouTube page, you can always go back and have a look at stuff. So
yeah, on our amateur YouTube pages. Samuel Dittmar asks you, Brent, what have you got coming? Exciting things?
Well, I have more eggs than I have tubs for is what I've got coming. So a few exciting things. Hopefully caramel granites this year. It's something I've been trying for years and failed. It's just one of those things like Daz and Moonglows that I can't get done after 3 years of trying. So there's just always, every breeder has those one or two morphs that, or combos or pairings that just haunt them, and that's one for me after 3 years of trying. Still not even got an egg to even try and get odds from. So I went nuts on it this year. It's normally what I do. I get the shits with it after 2 or 3 years of fails, and then I just go ballistic on it. Like the albino granite jag, and do mass pairings that end up with 4 or 5 in a season. So it's kind of a targeted attack on caramel granites this year. But there should be a few exciting clutches coming up for sure.
Yeah, I think I'll have that probably that approach next season to the Minglow project. I think it'll be a. I think I'll look at all the ones I've hatched in the past. I've got a whole heap of caramel poss double heads, sunglow poss heads, ghost poss heads. I think I'll be going through all those and going, rightio.
Line them up.
It's on. Yep. The caramel double head boy, I don't think he'll know what hit him next year. Instead of having one girlfriend, he's going to go, "Oh, look, girlfriends galore."
And using some visual poss heads, all the ghosts and sunglow girls, it's going to be far. Any one of those proves out, there'll be a plethora of white snakes.
Hopefully. So either that or you got to give me a Moonglow, one or the other.
Yeah, see what come out. I've got another clutch coming this year, don't worry. So it's
mine are probably in that. If you get any more than one, the rest must be mine from here. Considering
I'm sure,
those animals are all siblings.
Pretty sure I've got my fair share, so you could be right. We'll see how many boys are in this lot. I keep getting an excess of males for some reason, so we'll see what pops out. Yeah, male would be great.
Male, twin noodles. That'll help sort some of these girls out I've got floating around.
No, it'll prove them or double head them. It's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Deal with that, girls. Clown in the chat for you, Dad's coming in from YouTube. Hot girls are waiting here. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm. Gone now.
Gone. The hot girls are already here, mate. I mean, There's no need to go to YouTube, get pranked on some scam on YouTube.
Yep, there we go. Girls.
Yeah, Katie saying, keep catching the tail end of these bloody New South Wales time. That's where we bloody live, mate. So it's hard to not run that clock time. And because I'm old now, I want to go to bed by 9:30, so I can't stay up all night doing egg shows. Yeah,
we started a bit earlier. We try to start on time. I do. I'm ready.
Mate, I was within 3 minutes of start time tonight, ready to go. That's a record.
Yeah, it was. But, on the bright side for everyone, Brent has a new laptop coming. He's going to get you got a new microphone too, didn't you? Speaker, like a microphone?
Tonight we just got the settings right. Something worked that wouldn't work before. So, yes, definitely a new microphone coming with the laptop anyway. So, we should have all things covered tomorrow, providing the postman brings me the magic.
Yep. So, tomorrow night, Brent and I will probably just get together and set it up, make sure it's all working, and fine-tune whatever needs to be sorted. And hopefully by the time hopefully by the time I'm guessing the granite pepper clutch is probably going to be the next one that pips. I don't know what you've got coming at your end.
There's a couple of...
by then we'll be well sorted.
Yeah, there's 2 clutches I've got that are close within a day or 2, I think. So there's a albino head granite, which I think I probably put a caramel double head granite albino with. I would have for sure. I would have been stupid on that. And there's another albino poss head granite. One of the last girls I got to prove out that's a visual poss head granite. Of all the poss double head wild types I've proved out now, there's just the I think that's the last one to finish off any unfinished business of the poss heads.
Yeah, nice. Okay, so
Katie. Yeah, well, that's probably something Katie said to me regarding something about overlords that I probably had to Google to get a Google picture of that made that pop up, I'm sure.
So it's all your fault.
It's Katie's fault, definitely.
It's Katie's fault. Oh, no. You're in it, Katie. You're in trouble.
Katie sent me something that I was on the floor laughing at for a good 5 minutes.
Yeah, Gaz, do you guys run digital thermos in the incubator or mercury ones, thermometers? I just run digital ones. I assume you're talking about a mercury bulb type thermometer, old school type one. I've seen people use those, but I think, if you buy a decent digital one these days, they're probably far more accurate. I like the ability to have multiple probes at different areas. It's just me. I mean, I just think a digital thermometer, you can look at it. It's easy to read. It's more accurate to a degree. Not that it's really going to make a major difference, but what about you, Brent?
I gave up all that. I fly it pretty wild now. I used to have those little digital ones on nearly every tub, sitting on top with a probe going in to check them all, and they're just in the way when I want to wipe tubs down and lids. And
no, I don't have anything in tubs. I just have on a shelf in the middle. I just have one, and one probe that just goes up and hangs on a shelf at the top, and one probe that goes and hangs on a shelf down the bottom. And realistically, I haven't touched the thermostats in any of my incubators since I built them, probably 15 years ago or longer, maybe. I can't even remember, except for the one I got from you. And
I might need that back.
Yeah. I just look at that. So, as long as I look at that and, the temperatures are sitting where I need to be, it's just a case of double checking, that's all.
Yeah, it is. I throw the temp gun in there occasionally and check things, but it's such a well-oiled machine now. I had the probe for the digital thermostat mid-shelf, and I know everything above it's a little warmer and everything below it's a little colder. So based on that, I know how many days each one's going to pop at, and if I see something that's a little bit close to 60 and not really sunken in, I'll put it up higher. I use it to my advantage to cook faster, or indeed if I cut something that's really wet, throw it up high. It's you can just mix and match it because really it doesn't matter. Yeah, Gaz, 31, spot on, mate. That's what I cook at. They all tend to sit anywhere between 30.5 and 31.5 from top to bottom, and they all work. Anything from 28 to 32 works. It just varies the time that it takes. Obviously, the lower temp, more days. So higher temp, you'll get them out quick, which I don't know, people used to always rush it. People were almost getting 32, 33 for years trying to push it to get stuff out fast, which I'm not really chasing that. I think if you start pushing towards 33, you're going to have problems. So
yeah, no, just stick to what it is. 30, 31, 31 and a half, give or take. If you set it at 31, you can, on those days that are extremely hot, you've got a little bit of free play there. If it happens to get stinking hot in your house, the air conditioning stops working, something goes wrong, you got a better chance. As soon as you start pushing that boundary, it might only sound like 1 degree, but it might take 1 hour or 2 hours for that temperature to rise 1 degree inside that incubator. So it can be enough to push it just that little bit too far. So, and let's face it, is 5 days at the end of an incubation cycle really going to make a difference? No.
Yep.
Because 4 months later, you're still going to be getting stuff feeding and makes zero difference, really.
Yeah.
There's no rush.
Safer. Lower temps is certainly safer.
Yeah, I did see briefly that thing that Pete put up. I don't think he's making them. I think he was just advertising them for someone else. I don't know. I didn't really see it. I don't know if you saw it, Brent, but every incubator I've ever had, I've made myself. So, I
haven't seen Birchie's one. If he's got his name on one, or if he's helped in design or something of one. There's been a few out there over the years, and little wine fridges and bar fridges and things work well. Certainly when you get to the bigger stuff, the commercial, single or double door, double glass type fridges work the best. They strip out the motor, and that's where all the weight is, and then just I tack heat cord inside them and thermostat in, and off you go.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I know, I'm going back 20 years. I know they're still around, but multi-quip made incubators, obviously, they used to do a lot for bird eggs. But they started making one for reptile, and they were up around like back then, like $2,000. And, when, like that fridge behind Brent, you can hunt around and almost pick one up for nothing, or you can pick one up for, I think I bought a single-doored version of what you can see behind Brent there, with those 2 glass doors, from... what was the name of the shop? It's basically a commercial, a place that rents out commercial fridges and freezers. And once they get to a certain point, they balance the cost of what it costs to repair them, to fix them. They work out what's left. And I bought 2 of them for $100 each. Had to pick them up. It wasn't far away. Picked them up. By the time I slapped in, I think I don't know if it was like a 16-meter heat cord or something like that, 18-meter heat cord or something or other. Threw a thermostat on it, a computer fan, which you can pick up for, I don't know, I think the one I bought was like $40 from any of your, like, Dick Smiths or any of those computer... J-Cars. Yep. A 9-volt transformer or whatever it is to suit it, and wire it up and plug it in. You're done for,
cheap.
$400-500, depending on what sort of thermostat you want to do. A few bits and pieces. I ran screws into it and looped the heat cord all the way around, all 3 sides and onto the floor. Like you said, whip the motor out, chuck all that away. If you get one, the one I got had no motor, had nothing, had all the shells in it, the whole lot. A little bit of work and a little bit of effort. And I suppose it's whether you got time or whether you got the money. I don't know what the incubators are worth, but generally they're quite expensive to buy one set up. Where, I mean, you normally sell heat cord, Brent. What's a 18-meter heat cord worth?
15s and 20s, but $100 will get you a 15-meter cord, and that's enough. Or some people run, depending on the size of it, run 2 12, so you've got a bit of backup. If one cord happens to die, you've got another one in there still operating to hold up temp. So I run 2 in mine, just as that is double backup sort of thing. So cheap setup. There's Adam saying he inquired about getting one sent up to Alice Springs. Obviously the freight's insane, so definitely making your own an option. But there's a government incentive out at the moment. They're replacing all commercial fridges in milk bars and shops and stuff with much lower running cost type things, and you can get a government subsidy now for $250 or something. You can get a new fridge for that business. So currently there is a ton of old ones out there for sale cheap, marketplace, eBay, and places like that. So they're all over the place. So now's the time if you want some. I've been given a few over the years. I've got a couple of spares and backups, and one at work and one I've given to Daz last year that's hanging around. They're good just to have sitting around in case of emergencies, friends, helps, whatever. Too many eggs, whatever. It happens.
Like Brent has at the moment, too many eggs.
I'm learning how to pack very well. This morning, my wife packed in. They've got some Antaresia eggs in with some carpet eggs at the moment, so we'll see which one pits out of them first.
So there's the key to it. See, you need to have small tubs for the Anta eggs.
I do. Don't worry. They're packed.
I normally get enough.
Double packed front to back. Oh, there's 4 in each row.
I was going to say I normally get them back in front of each other, and then if I get desperate, they'll double packed on top.
Which I hate, because I like to open the lids every day, because I don't have holes in the tub, so you got to move everything around to get to the ones at the back, that's shitting me. But stuff's just got to start hatching. I need more coming out than going in.
Yeah, I know what you mean. And the other side of thing on incubators, Adam, too, is how big is it? You know, like we're talking about a large. I had a similar one to Brent's, which I had to get rid of down the warehouse, and those tubs here, which are a decent size tub. I mean, they're not.
I think your big one at the warehouse was bigger than this one I've got here. I'm sure. It's your 3-door one.
No, it was only 2-door. I had a 2-door.
It was big. Yeah.
But I could fit 21 of these in there.
Yep.
So that's 21 full clutches of carpets in there with, you know, like, and that was room as well. That's not like jammed in, you know. So I would put one clutch and then another one on top on the side, and there was plenty of room. You could grab 2 tubs and slide them out. It was like, you know, if I really wanted to squeeze it in, I could fit another, you know, 10 Antaresia, well, probably more, probably another 20 Antaresia tubs in there as well if I wanted to. But I had the big double doored one, plus I had the 2 single doored ones down there, so I had a ton of room. But if you're lucky with the seasons, as stuff goes in and fills it up, by the time the last clutches are coming in, your first ones are coming back out again. So, you know, if you're lucky, you get that balance. But the size of the incubator,
where I am.
Yeah, but the size of the incubator and more to the point, the internal dimensions of the incubator will determine. It's all right to say, oh, it's this big, and, you know, you can put 10 clutches in there, but that might only be 5 of those. It might not be 10 of those. So you kind of got to work out, you know, how big incubation tubs are, you know, what's inside, how many clutches. And, like, if you're only doing 3 or 4 clutches a year, it could be perfect. And not everyone has the time or the skill to make their own. So under $1,000, it's probably fine. Like, I don't know, I haven't seen it. I'm not going to say anything on that side.
Yep.
But, you know, the reality is, and let's face it, everybody that breeds one clutch, you know, most normally grow. It normally starts with 1, and then it'll be 2, and then it'll be 3. So to get an incubator that does, you know, outdoes what you need is always a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And they don't have to be those clear glass door like these commercial style things either. I started with a little bar fridge, you know, with a solid normal door. You know, they all work the same. It's just the glass door ones are better. You can see in there without having to open them as much. You know, when you want to sit there and stare at eggs all day. I've sort of got past that these days, but it's good that you can sort of look in there and see what's going on and check things without having the door wide open for extended periods of time.
Yep. I mean, I used to make, me and my mate Neil Caston used to wholesale reptile products to pet shops back in the day, back in 2004. We used to make them. We used to make not so much those, but ones out of the foam fish box. We'd line them all, put peat moss in them, line them all, put the heat cord in, the whole lot. So people that had, you know, just one clutch needed an incubator. They were cheap enough. You know, you pay for a heat cord thermostat and, you know, the other bits and pieces in it. And we make them as a foam box. All it is, something you can have insulated that's can maintain an ideal temperature. We used to sell heaps of them because there'd be heaps of people who just had one clutch, 2 clutches. That's it. Didn't want to spend, you know, like I said, multi-crib incubators were like, you know, the vicinity of $1,500 to over $2,000, depending on the size. You know, no really any commercial sort of incubator around it back then, you know, if you wanted something. So, like you, Brent, my first one was a bar fridge. And then that lasted a year.
Exactly. Like, mine as well.
It was like, oh, bar fridge, that'll do. Oh, I've run out of room, and it's only the first year of breeding, you know. So that went out the door, and in come the commercial one.
Yes, so, it happens quickly. The expansion rate, you sort of go one way or the other. You go from 2 to 10 to 30, or, you know, the 10 breaks you and you're gone. So
yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, afraid to be the killer, mate. If you're up in where was it, NT? I'd be looking at if you walk into Quirks. Quirks is where I got mine from. I actually went into a shop and saw the name on the commercial fridges I had in there, and I just rang them. I rang them and said, mate, you know, told them what I wanted it for. I said, I don't want a motor. I just want a carcass with shelves. That was it. And guy said, oh yeah, leave it with me, you know. And a couple of phone calls later, he goes, yeah, mate, I got 2 sitting here for $100 each. He goes, but you have to pick them up. I said, no worries. Hooked on the trailer and off I went. Be there within an hour. Thanks for coming. Yeah, shells a lot. So, maybe do the same thing up your neck of the woods. You might find someone up there that can hook you up if you've got the time and, like I said, the skill to make one. They're not hard, but obviously, you need all the tools that you need to make it. And a bit of
heat cord and some P clips to hold the heat cord in position, and you're off and go.
Yep. That's it. So, what's that one say? Using you can say 1 10 degrees hot. Yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah. Well, that goes back to what I was saying. How I have a digital thermometer in there just to tell the temperature. I don't care what the thermostat says. Doesn't matter.
Yep.
The thermostat can be set to 38 as far as I'm concerned. All I care about is the atmospheric temperature inside the incubator is at around 31. So, people get hung up on, the thermostat's 31, it should be 31. Mate, they're not exactly always perfectly accurate. Yeah. And that's why I should always run a thermometer just to double check that. So
Yep. And humidity is a big thing too. Temp's the most important thing, but humidity's king in the incubator. Obviously tubs have high humidity. That's why they're set up the way they are. But all my lids are not clipped on the tubs. They just basically sit on top, so I can flick them up and shut them and get some fresh air into them quickly. But I even run water in the bottom of the actual incubator, so the airspace inside the incubator is actually high humidity anyway. So it just keeps the whole thing relatively high humidity, and everything seems to work well.
There you go. Yeah, that's it. I put holes in my tubs, so all my incubation tubs have little holes, four little soldering iron holes in each one.
Yep, and gives you a bit more time.
Well, you've got two options. One, it gives you that. I find having that little bit of airflow helps reduce the amount of condensation that forms on the lid.
Yep.
Also, if you happen to be away and you can't go in there and lift the lids on the tubs, it keeps the air, helps keep the air fresh. There's at least some sort of air exchange in there. And on the side that you want to have a sealed tub, you just put some sticky tape over it.
Darren, you're a snake keeper. You don't get to go away. You should know this by now.
Yeah, I know.
You get in that room and you wipe them lids every day. That's how it works. You just have to do it for 3 months of the year and get over it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, that's it. Anyway. So last one. Inkbird hydrometer sense different. Yeah, I've actually got a whole pile of those Inkbirds. I bought 10 of them. They're sitting over the back. I need to put them up. Got some enclosures I need to set up and everything, but
give them up. Give them a try.
Yeah, one day.
Get it done, boy. You got the time.
It's not the time that's the problem.
No.
Anyway, all right. We should probably call it that, I reckon, mate.
Yeah, mate. That'll do us, I think. Where do they find you at, Mr. Darren Whittaker?
Yeah, Morelia by Design on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube, and on my personal page, Darren Whittaker. So, if you've ever got any questions, flip your message. I'll always get there eventually. What about you, Mr. Smith?
khpreptiles.com.au and Facebook always, KHP Reptiles, Brent Smith Messenger, always around. Chaos busy as always, but anything you send through will get replied to.
Yep, that's it. All right, guys. Thanks for dropping in. Keep an eye on our Facebook pages and everything, because we will have hopefully the pepper granite clutch coming up real soon.
Yes.
That's a very exciting clutch for us. So we'll try and give as much notice as possible. So thanks, guys. Hope you enjoyed our dribble.
We'll get them under an hour, mate. We'll get them down to short periods of time as we go.
It's just good talking and trying to help people, It's good.
Yeah.
So, all right. Good night, guys. Thanks for dropping in, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Thanks, guys.